Today on Kicks Chronicles, I already told you we don't gatekeep round here. Today we're talking to content creator CFABastin. We talk about the kicks he loved growing up, his current rotation, his thoughts on sneaker button and the culture at large, and what kicks he would take with him if he was stranded on a desert island. This is Kicks Chronicles. Yes, my people. Welcome to episode 58 of your sneaker and lifestyle podcast, Kicks Chronicles. I'm your boy, PROZECH. Welcome. Apologies for the croaky voice. It's that time of the year, that season. Baby's picked up a little something. She might have passed it over to me. It's all good. It's all gravy. I'm easy, and I hope you, man, are well. Thank you very much for joining us. Back again with another illustrious guest, another amazing interview. People, I hope you had an amazing week. You get me? I hope everything has been going well in your life. Family are well. Hope everything's blessed. Obviously, last week we dropped part 2, the final part of our 2-part series with the one, the only, Crep Rep. I don't know why, but Crep Rep is not an easy word for me to say. But that's life, man. She was amazing. And if you didn't manage to go and listen to that podcast or watch that podcast, it's available everywhere you get podcasts. So make sure you go and do that. Please, really appreciate that. This week, we're talking to sneaker/streetwear content creator CFABastin. I have to say, an impressive young man doing his thing in the social media scene. You get me? And building a massive community, especially on TikTok. So if you don't know, you need to get to know. Okay. This week, we talked to him about him first falling in love with the classic, the Air Force One. You get me? You can't go wrong with an Air Force One. And he tells us about his love for this shoe. He also talks to us about this trick he used to basically double his sneaker collection at a very young age. If P's are a little bit of an issue, and I say P's, I'm talking about pounds, I'm talking about sterling, I'm talking about money. If money is a little bit of an issue, right, and you're looking for a way potentially to increase your kick usage or increase the amount of kicks you have in your reach, in your collection, listen out, yeah. He drops a little bit of insight on that. I thought it was a pretty cool pattern still, so yeah, make sure to listen out for that. He also talks to us about one of his first pairs of kicks he purchased, which was the 2012 Breds, and how that shoe was stolen right from under his nose. Crazy story, mad story. And you know what's even deeper about this story, and I'm giving you a little sneak peek. He just cleaned them. Can you imagine the pain? He just spent his time cleaning his 2012 Breds. Comes back home and they've been dipped. Gone. Without a trace. The gall of the people out here, man. People out here doing the devil's work. But it's okay because he's up now. But it's long though. Shining up your kicks real nice and then just getting swiped. Stress. But that's the beginning of a villain arc if I've ever heard one. You get me? Or that's the strength and desire to become, like, to have a really cool collection and become big in the sneaker game. Like, that could do that. That could definitely do that still. CFABastin also gives us his top 3 of 2023. Please let us know in the comments below if you agree with his take. And he also breaks down the very polarizing topic of sneaker buying, bro. He was one of the first guys on my timeline to really break down what sneaker button was, and definitely the first guy on our podcast to ever really give it clean and clear. I've been trying to get botters to come on the podcast for ages, but them man gatekeep. This one don't gatekeep, you get me, man? So he's there dropping them straight jewels, and obviously if you're in that game or you're interested in that game, this might be a very cool podcast for you. This might be the one, right? So listen up. I'm thinking about getting involved, you get me? But when I was talking to him, he was getting me gassed. I'm not going to lie. The way he was dropping that knowledge was making me feel like I needed to do it, you get me? And to be fair, I have no issues with it whatsoever. Like, as much as people get down on people, as much as people don't like botters and think that they're the ones stopping them from being able to cop their kicks, there's a lot of other things going on in the industry that are stopping us getting our kicks. Just being 100% real. It's a very, very tough game out here. But it's the life we chose, people. It's the life we chose. We gotta do what we gotta do, you get me? So yeah, he drops the knowledge on Sneaker Button and he gives us his thoughts and his opinions on that whole game and that whole scene. He also does some quick fires. He explains what kicks he would take with him if he was stranded on a desert island. And lastly, we talk about what being a sneakerhead means to him. All in all, an amazing interview, even if I do say so myself. A really, really cool guy, as I've mentioned. And I definitely found the interview interesting and entertaining. And I hope you guys do too. So with all of that being said, before we go into the interview, I want to just say, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to get in contact with us, our email address is kickschronicles@gmail.com. Please make sure to do that. Also, 5-star reviews are mandatory. Only 5-star reviews. Yeah, I don't want to hear nothing else. You get me? Just put that down. You get me? And with all of that being said, I'm your boy PROZECH. This is Kicks Chronicles, and this week our guest is the one, the only CFABastin. Enjoy. Yes, people. Big Prosy back again, and you already know what it is, man. We're here with another illustrious guest. You can already see him on screen. You get me? The guy. First and foremost, we ain't gatekeepers out here. 100%. 100%. Ain't nobody a gatekeeper out here, man. I got the one and only Bastin in the building. What you saying, my bro?
I'm good. Good to be here, man.
I appreciate you.
All over kicks.
That's it, man. I appreciate you for being here, man. I hollered at Bastin, and you know how it is, people. You get me, man. Like pros, you have to go out to these man, the man that are popping on the gram and popping on TikTok. You get me. I go holler at these young bulls and try to ask them to come on the podcast. Certain ones of them give me the run around, but Bastin was in there. You get me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he held man down, so I respect that. I respect him, man. He didn't make an old man run after him. Respectfully, man. But broski, talk to me, man, about that first love. How did you get into kicks? How did you get into the love of kicks? And what was that first shoe that brought you in, bro?
So really, the love of kicks, it really spawned from like when I was younger, like growing up in London. I grew up like near Wembley. When I used to go to school when I was younger, I just used to see people like the older guys, like year 11, year 10s, when it was like non-school uniform day, when people were just rocking kicks. People putting up in like Jordan 4s, Jordan 1s, just like hype sneakers. And back in the day, I was like, yo, what? I didn't really know too much about kicks back in the day in year 7 and stuff. So the first introduction to kicks was probably like during secondary school. And I was like, yeah, I can't lie, I need those. So then I was like, obviously asking my mom, like, oh, can I get those Jordan 4s, those Jordan 1s? And she was like, nah, bro, 170, 150, like, you could be buying some, like, I don't know, some normal prep with them. And I was like, nah, these are the shoes I want. But really, when I came to, like, love sneakers, I'll talk about the first ever sneaker. It's just, like, the all-white Air Force One. That's where I was like,
classics.
Yo, these are just too cold. I need them. That was like the first pair. I asked my mom to buy. She was like, yeah, you can have those. And then from then on, I was like, yeah, these are the ones, man. And it really got me into kicks from. After that, I think it was around like 2013, 2012 times when the Jordan 4 2012 Breds came out. Those were like the first pair where I saved up all my pocket money. I used to get like £10 pocket money, me and my cousin, because I used to live with my cousin back in London. We saved up our pocket money, £10 each week until we could afford the Jordan 4 2012 Breds. So that was the first pair.
Wow.
And I was like, yo, yeah. And there's another interesting story we'll go on about how those ended up getting stolen. But that was like the first pair of Jordan 4s I ever got. Me and my cousin saved up for. And yeah, we were just like rotating between them because we only had one pair, saved up for them.
Oh, so you both saved up the £10. So he had £10, you £10. So you basically are you the same size?
Yeah, we were the same size.
Wowza. See,
Yeah.
that's how you get smart out here, bro. These man clocked it, bro. But talk to me, bro. They got swiped. What happened, man?
Oh yeah, about the story about this swipe. So this was I think 2013 time, so like a year on from having got the pair. I just like in our house we used to have like some sort of balcony at the top, and then it used to like connect to like a garden. So then one day I like cleaned the kicks. I'd left them there. I'd went to school. I come back, they're gone. Someone's fully teethed them. I swear, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Those Creps were teeth. To this day, I don't know who done it. I don't know who the culprit is, but those Creps
Wowza.
disappeared, man.
Fam.
It was crazy, and I couldn't bring myself the courage to tell my Marge that
Oh
someone
my
stole them. I just said,
days.
"Oh, we lost them," because it was
Wow.
too deep. To this day,
Yeah. Nah. The embarrassment is deeper as well, man. How did your cousin take it, bro?
nah, I can't lie. Me and him, we had beef for the whole week after that.
Fam, that's legit beef. Like,
Uh,
that could tear a family apart. That's
yeah,
mad.
yeah, but
That is crazy. Nah,
we
that
just
is
we
so
just have to
deep.
firm it. I just made it up to him and just paid him like back some of my pocket money just to make up for it.
You see them ones there, like that will make a villain arc, bro. Because how can you clean them as well? You've cleaned them,
Yeah.
put your heart and
Fully.
soul. Do you see the energy and the effort that's gone into those kicks? You've invested so much money, you and your cousin, and you are looking after them, cleaning them, and someone's just swiped them, man. The devil's work, G. Now,
That
man,
was the day I realized that this game ain't easy, man.
this
This game
game
ain't
ain't easy, bro. This game ain't easy, bro. And yeah, but obviously you just gotta charge it and move on, man. But yeah, you're flying high right now.
easy.
Big things are happening still. So we move in it. But yeah, that's tough. That's
Mm.
tough. All right, so you've mentioned it a few times, but yeah, let's just get the lay of the land correctly. So did you grow up in London? You from London?
Yeah. Grew up in London. I moved to the I'm not originally from the UK. I was born in Ivory Coast. Moved to the UK when I was around 4 years old. Um, I came firstly to London, and then I was basically kind of like in and out of London because I was with
Mm.
my dad who lives up north near Manchester. And then it was around like the age of 6, 7 where I fully like stayed in London. And then from like the age of like 6 to like 14, 15, I was in London for like that whole kind of like period. Yeah.
Calm. First of all, shout out to all the Ivorians. We love them, man. There, man. You get me? Them man know how to dress. Their cooking style. I'm from Ghana. Their jollof
Yeah.
is very close to ours, so they hold a special place in man's heart still. But I hear that. So you got up here. So for a lot of your formative time,
Mm.
you was in
Yeah.
London, in the north part, right? In the
Yeah.
north London,
I used to
right?
live like 5 minutes from Wembley.
Real talk. Okay. So in your heyday, right, what were the kicks that you used to see on feet a lot? Like when you were walking around, what were the kicks that you used to see a lot?
Well, the first thing when you said what I saw on feet that comes to mind, Adidas Superstars, the black and the white ones, also
Interesting.
Air Max Harachis as well. Those were so popular, like back in the day in Wembley near my area. Like I remember with Harachis, there was a time period where everyone just had a pair of Harachis. In school, people, we used to have like the basic school uniform you'd wear, where people would like try and like kind of like pull some maneuvers around it and wear just black Harachis or like black Air Forces. So that's when everyone started wearing like black Harachis. Everyone would pull up to school, black Harachis, none of that normal school shoes kind of thing. But yeah, those were the main ones I was seeing like back in the day, kind of them, just like the light subtle ones.
Calm. And one thing I always like to ask in terms of like people's origins and that, because I grew up in an African household, similar to yourself, and kicks were not the number one priority in my bits. I'm just being real. So we had to dabble a little bit in them dark arts, bro. So a couple of unbranded kicks, maybe a fake or two. You get me? Like I don't know if it was the same for everybody, but I got asked the question. So I call this question the unholy grail. Did you ever have to dabble in them dark arts, broski, or travel through that road? You get me?
Nah. Thankfully, if we're talking about reps, we never had to go like the rep route. I feel like there was a lot of times where we used to go to like Wembley Market or like Liverpool Street and used to see them like dodgy Jordans, them dodgy Nike pairs, and used to be like, yo, maybe just let me just grab that. No one will know. But I don't know. I just couldn't bring myself to do it back in the day. I was
I
just
hear
like,
you.
nah, I'd rather just wear like a black Air Force or just like a white Air Force and just beat that to the ground. instead of like going to buy reps and stuff. But I was lucky because me and my cousin being the same size, when it was like
Yeah.
Christmas or birthdays, we used to just ask for kicks. So those kicks, we just like rotate between them. So he'd wear one of my pairs if he ever has like non-school uniform day. I'd wear one of his pairs. So it was a case of we had like I'd say between us a good like 10 pair of kicks where we could just go like, yo, I'll be like, yo, Leo, let me grab this pair today.
Nah, that was a cheat code, and you man
Yeah.
were ahead of your time. I have to be real, because having two man in the yard around the same age have the same size feet,
Mm.
right? Like sharing a collection is a vibe, bro.
Yeah.
Real talk, man. Obviously, as well, because it's your cousin, he's looking after his feet.
Mm.
He's not some random bro on the street. Like I'm saying, he's bathing
Yeah,
every
yeah,
day. Everything is correct. You get me, man. So you know that you can put your foot in there as well, and it can still be okay, man. So yeah, that was certainly a cheat code, man. But yeah, nah, I respect that as well. And I know not everybody has to go through the valley of the shadow. You get me, man. But it's always good to ask, man, because whatever the situation is, wherever you came from, if somebody's watching this or listening to this right now, and you had to travel down those dark streets, just
yeah.
know, man, you made it out on the other side. You're a better man for it today. You get me, man. But yeah, broski, what we're gonna do now, yeah, is we're gonna get into a line of question and I refer to as the EST of KIC. Hi there. So nice to see you. Sorry to interrupt the pod. I'll be literally 30 seconds. I just wanted to say thank you for being here. And also, if you enjoy the pod, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It really does help. Also, if you're listening on an audio platform, feel free to give us a review, whether it be positive or negative. Just leave a review. We really, really appreciate it. Also, feel free to listen to our old episodes. And if you ever want to get in contact, if you want to let me know what you're thinking, feeling, or whatever, holler at me. My name is PROZECH. PROZECH on all social media: Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm enjoying TikTok at the moment, so feel free to holler at me. I will always holler back. And with all that being said, I'll let you get back to the pod. Toodles. Yeah, when I say EST, I'm talking about the oldest, the newest, the rarest, the greatest, the best. You get me? That's what I wanna talk about. And this is from your modern day, your current collection. So talk to me about the oldest shoe you've got in your collection right now, G.
Oldest. I've got I think it's 2005 pair of Nike Dunk Low SB St. John's. It's like I went to France one time and then I just saw this pair and I was like, I got in contact with the seller and I was like, yo, I need these, but I'm not from Paris at the moment, so I don't really want to have to like put that in my suitcase, trying like, to fit everything in. So
Mm.
please give me your number and I'll shout you when I'm back home for them. And then yeah, we just ran it through. I think I paid like 210 at the time for them to ship them over from France. And yeah, it was like a 2005 pair of dunks. This was like 2020 time. This was when like the
Wow.
Nike Dunk was
Dunks
really,
were
really spinning.
flying.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't really want to buy the new pair of dunks, man, because I knew every
Really?
and their nan was gonna wear it. So I
Every
was
man on their nan, that's
yeah.
hilarious.
So
Yeah.
that's the time I was thinking, yo, I need to be on this. I need to start researching the old dunks. So then I was just really in my element. And then I randomly just saw these one day in Paris and I was like, yeah, as soon as I get home, I'm buying them from this guy and he's shipping them me over.
That's right.
I still got that pair as well. It's like it's from the pink box era as well.
Oh, nice. That's a white and red pair, right?
Yeah, white and red pair, St.
Yeah,
John.
man.
Yeah, so
St.
these
John's
are
is a vibe, man. We like
yeah,
that, man. The random piece of trivia, random fact. You remember the film Coming to America?
coming to America. Nah, I don't think I've watched it.
Bro, you're so young. What is this about, bro? Man said, I don't think I've watched Coming to America. Are you okay? Fam, how old are you?
But I'm 21.
Broski, this guy was born in the 2020s.
Yeah,
This
I'm
movie
legit.
was now, Coming to America is part of your heritage, bro. You have to a
I
little bit
might
of
watch
homework.
this after this.
Yeah.
After
Watch
this
it, watch it, watch it, watch it. It's like one of Eddie Murphy's like best films. Like it's one that put him on the map for a lot of people. But in that film, there's like a basketball game where basically some funny stuff happens where he gets discovered. Basically, he's like a prince from this made up African country. He goes to America to try and find his queen, and in pursuit of that, he ends up going to this basketball game. and it's St. John's that are playing in the basketball game, and he almost gets discovered as the prince. You get me? Like, so go home. Or when you get a chance, go watch that. You'll enjoy it. Let me know all your thoughts on the thing. You get me, man? If you like it, tell me and let the people know as well. Because, yeah, there's people screaming at their thing saying, broski ain't watched Coming to America. Coming to America is a classic. But to be fair, it was a classic when I was growing up. So it's even more of a classic now. I can see that still. But talk to me, what is your newest pair of shoes?
The newest pair. What have I got recently? Recently I picked up a pair of 95s or 110s, if people call it. It's a black graphite, one of the OG ones. This is the first Air Max 95 I've ever bought as well. I was one of them people that I used to be. I'm not gonna. I used to be a big Air Max 95 110s hater. I was like, the silhouette is
Really?
I've been saying it on
Wow.
TikTok since I started. I will never wear a pair of Air Max 95. And then I'm sneaking this. I saw this pair of Air Max 95. I was like, I've got to get those. I've got to get them.
Wow.
The pair was just too clean for me to pass. I got to put sometimes you got to put your pride aside.
You have to
And
put it
be a
aside.
better man. And I just had to say, I had to buy them. So that's like the newest pair I've bought so far. The black.
Respect that. Respect that, man. Like, I remember having a pair of black on black 95s when I was in secondary school, like 15, and they put me on, bro. That was at the height of 110s. Like, but talking about 110s, man, obviously Cortez had done their 110
Yeah.
drop. Like, so you weren't feeling any of those?
Nah, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. I bought I think I bought all three of them. I even went to
Are you
Paris for the
serious?
blue one. Yeah.
Broski, yeah, you're on it, you're on it, you're on it.
But I can't lie, I sold all of those pairs because in hand, like this was when I was still in my 110s hating phase. Like
Mm,
I bought all of those pairs. Even like I was on my way to Ivory Coast when the 110s dropped the blue pair. And
mm.
then coincidentally my flight ended up stopping in Paris. So then I just like changed my flight from Ivory Coast to a day later so that I could go and cop the Paris exclusive 110s. Bought
Wow.
those, and then on my feet I was like, I'm not really feeling those. So then I've got a few friends in Paris. I was just like, yo, who wants to buy this? Sold them and then was on my way back to Ivory Coast really.
Snap, 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 snap. Interesting, interesting. Ah, actually, talk to me, man. What would you say is your rarest pair?
If I was to buy a rare pair of sneakers, like the Heineken SB Dunks are one of my absolute grails, but I would never ever wear that pair.
See,
It's just
yes,
too
yes, yeah.
uncompetitive to play. I don't really like the idea of having like really hyped sneakers because of the functionality element. With sneakers, I feel like you need to just buy stuff you're generally going to be wearing on a day-to-day basis. That's why I used to have like a pair of like 30, 40 pairs, but I sold the majority of them because I was like, they're just sitting and collecting
Mm.
dust. I'm not even wearing them anymore. So
No, I
now
agree.
go for the pairs I know, like the pairs behind me. I wear all of those. I beat them regardless of their price tag. I'm like, I just want to start wearing my kicks way more often now.
No, I completely agree with that, man. I think it's quality over quantity when it comes
Mm.
to Kicks, man. And Kicks Chronicles, man, we're about connections, not collections, man. We want shoes that people are connected to. We want you to have like a story. We want you to actually feel something about your Kicks, man. Some people inflate their collections with like bare colorways or kicks that they're not really vibing with, and it just don't make sense because it's just another shoe that's come out, man. Like, love your shoes, wear your shoes, man. You get me? Whether you got 5 in the rotation or 15 in the rotation, bro, it don't matter to me, man. I keep a light like 15, 20 as well. Like, I ain't one of those guys that needs to have a whole room full of kicks, man. It's not necessary. But
Yeah,
like, obviously the gifted pairs, I'm joking. We can hold down.
yeah.
What would you say in your collection is the greatest pair?
The greatest pair.
The
Ooh,
greatest pair, the
that,
one that
that's
gives you the
hard.
most satisfaction.
It would have to be one of my off whites. Probably the I've got like five pairs of off whites, but the one that really I feel like I have a strong attachment to because of the fact the deconstructed element is the off white five, the Muslim pair. That
Oh
pair
yeah.
I watched like with Virgil. I watched just so many documentaries, interviews of Virgil. Like you know, with the off white collaboration he did, that was in the works like way prior to when it actually released. It's
Mhm.
kind of a thing where Kanye was in contact with someone that was working at Nike, introduced Virgil to him, and then Virgil got in contact with the guy, and then Virgil, I believe he released like a collaboration with Umbro that was like a first kind of like off-white kind of collaboration that Virgil worked on. And then one of the VPs at Nike saw that and was like to Virgil, "We need you to work on this collection." And then that's when the tens
The
collection really
10
started.
dropped.
Yeah, yeah. And then I watched the interview with Virgil just talking about the whole deconstructed element, how he came up with the idea of the tens from like his previous college experience where he went to college. He was doing some sort of like engineering kind of like work, and that all ties into the 10 collection that he's worked in. I don't know that after watching those interviews and hearing the story of how one thing led to another, how his previous experiences have affected the shoe that he's now made with Nike, one of the biggest brands. It was like, yeah, that's one of the pairs that now every time I look to, I'm like, damn, Virgil, you smashed it out of the park with this, and like that's one of the pairs
100%.
really. I'm like, yeah, this is one pair I'm never ever gonna sell because it just means so much.
Yeah, the muslin was a fire pair. I actually managed. That's one of like the only shoes I've ever copped directly from sneakers because they don't rate me still. But like, yeah, Virgil was an absolute beast and a legend of the game, and obviously he'll be sorely missed. Rest in peace, big man. But like, yeah, man, he gave so much to the game. G, he gave so much to the game, man. Like, and he also like, oh, he's got that website, that free game website
Yeah,
as well.
free game.
Like, we're just putting people on all
Yeah,
the stuff that they need if they're trying to start a brand and make an impact, man. Like, he gave a lot, bro,
yeah,
and he
he left
broke down a lot
legacy.
of barriers, man. He left an amazing legacy, man. Just hope like that him and his family and his kids and stuff are all okay in that, man. Because yeah, man, that man will leave a big hole, bro. So I mean, he left a hole in the generation, G.
Mm-hmm.
He left a hole in the generation, man. But yeah, and yeah, in terms of kicks, bro, yeah. Like, what would you say in terms of off-white kicks would be like your number one? Actually, give me a top three off-white kicks.
Off white. What stuff that's being accessible to the public or
Yeah, no, yeah, like from his Nike collabs, essentially, or his Jordan collabs.
oh, hold on. I'm gonna have to say number three, the pine green dunk, because that's just one of my favorites. I just love the color scheme. I just love dunks in general.
Mm,
Number two, I definitely have to go with the Jordan 5 Muslin. And then number one, I don't know. I love Air Max 90s, so I'm gonna have to go with the black 90 because Air Max 90,
bro.
yeah, those have just been a pair that since being young, I've just absolutely loved 90s, and the fact that he did the off white with the 90, oh, it's one of the pairs that I have right now, and I always just wear, and that's yeah, definitely has to be my top three.
That is an understated number one, but a very, very cool number one. In fact, I managed to see that in hand very recently at the shop collection club. They actually had it in my size, which is rare as well, because there's not many of those shoes knocking about in like a 12, 11 sort of thing. So managed to see the shoe super like amazing material, great construction on the shoe. Like it was like it's a great shoe, and it's in terms of the 10, it's super understated. Like obviously the 90s don't get as much love as sort of the like the Presto or like some of the other sort of more prominent ones that came out. But yeah, man, it's a fire shoe. So yeah, definitely feeling that vibe. You didn't mention the one that everybody goes to. Right, so that shows me a couple things.
But
Whether
what were you
you,
thinking?
yeah, like maybe you go against the grain, or maybe you just like to be a contrarian and that. But like the one that everyone goes to is the Cell Jordan 4.
Nah,
Everybody loves a Cell Jordan 4, bro. But
nah,
the fact that you didn't like 95s until like a couple years ago, it makes me think that you don't like going with the people. You like making up your own mind.
with the sales, they're a good off white collaboration. They're a good Jordan 4, but it's just I don't see the wearability with the sale. Like, what am I gonna wear a cream shoe with on a day to day basis? It just doesn't make sense.
Real talk, man. I mean, I think the shoe's fire. I will make it make sense. Literally, I will make it make sense. But I hear where you're coming from, man. And apparently, for those that actually do have the shoe, they say it's a dirt magnet as well. So it may not be very, very practical to wear, but definitely one I would try to add to the collection before it's all said and done. What's the cheapest pair of shoes you managed to cop?
Cheapest, ooh, um, I'd have to say just the white Air Forces.
Yeah,
I
clean.
remember back in the day when they were like 80 retail,
Yeah.
60 retail.
78,
I
yeah.
used to wait for like my birthday and then use my 25% off Nike birthday discount when they still worked on them. Grab bare of those and just stock them up. Rotated for a fresh pair every once in a while. I used to go for a time where I used to buy like a few pairs of those on different Nike birthday accounts. I'd have like 5 pairs, and then once one's mashed, go through the next one.
Very
Another one's
smart.
mashed,
Very
then go
smart.
for the next one.
One thing I'm seeing from you during this interview, bro, is you find them patterns, bro, Steve. I like it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like it. You find them patterns, bro.
Have
I
to.
love it. I love it. And yeah, this is something I wanted to chat to you about, man, because you're a botter, right?
Well, that's a good question. Well, I can't lie. When it comes to the whole sneaker buying element of things, I know a
Yeah.
lot of sneakerheads, botters are like they're number one hated within the community. Let me just get that clear. I'm not a well, I'm a sneaker botter, but I'm not a sneaker botter. Like I've
Okay.
always had a love for kicks, but it was 2018 times when the Travis which ones? I think it was Travis Air Force's one with like those crazy designs.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
patchwork thing.
yeah, those released in 2018. I remember one of my friends was like, "Yo, the Travises are releasing. Let's go for them." And then I entered on N, I entered on Essence, I entered on Offsprings. I took on L on every single one of those. My friend hit, and I was like, "Yo, I can't keep living like this." That was like the one pair of sneakers that year. I was like, I need these. I absolutely need these. And then once I took an L from that, I was like, "Yo, how can I simplify the process of me being able to get kicks to an element where I don't have to like, rely on raffles every single time for me to get a pair." And then 2018 times at the end of it, one of my friends put me onto sneaker botting, and then I
Mm.
really just got enthralled into the community. Saw I initially started because I wanted to get those pairs, but then I saw the amount of money people were making from sneaker
Mhm.
botting. I was like, I'd be an absolute idiot not to get my personals and at the same time make money from sneakers. So then it just came to a point where, like, you either become a hero or live long enough to be a villain. And I just
Real talk.
I had to just switch to becoming that villain in the sneaker scene. But I don't regret it because it came to a point where from like 2019, end of 2019 times, when I was really accustomed to botting, I knew what I was doing with servers, I knew what I was doing with bots. Every release I went for, whether it was a Travis Scott, whether it was like a Jordan 4, a Jordan 1, I knew I'm waking up, I'm entering sneakers at 8 a.m. and that pair's coming to me in 3 days, like without a doubt. And it just got to a point where I just had to understand that people are gonna hate me for sneaker botting.
Real talk.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Spoken like a true villain, bro. This guy's a heel if I've ever seen one, bro. You get me, man? But the thing is, yeah, we all have to charge it, man. The game wasn't created by us.
Yeah.
You get me? We came to see this thing happen, bro. So like everybody's trying to make a way for themselves, man. So I never hate the botters, man. It's annoying at a certain point, obviously, because sometimes you're not able to access the pairs you want.
Mm.
But on the same side of it, like sometimes I go in for pairs that I don't want. And I'll move them on so I can buy pairs that I do want. You
Mm.
get me? Like, so who's to say that to some people isn't nice behavior as well? You get me? Like, so we're all got things that we got going on. You get me, to try and like move on to the next pair and that. So yeah, ain't no reason to really hate. But yeah, can be a little annoying at a certain point though. I can't lie.
Now, but the real villains, though, I'd say from being in like the general sneaker scene as a
Mm,
botter, I say
mm.
the real villains are the people in the stores backdooring the pairs,
Backdooring,
all close to
100%.
the botters. Because really,
Backdoors are 100% villains,
yeah.
broski. Yeah.
Because I was speaking, I think it was like 2021 September. I went to like one of these sneaker stores just to like chat to a few people, one of my friends, and we ended up speaking to this guy who like gets backdoor pairs. I'm not going to mention the store for like various reasons, but
For legal
yeah,
reasons.
for legal reasons, I don't want to be sued. I don't want to be sued. Yeah. So yeah, this like store, we'll call the store Jamie. So this
Yeah.
store Jamie claims and proclaims to be like so in touch with the sneaker community. They're one of those that like we absolutely hate resellers, we hate botters. But he was telling me, showing me messages, showing me pictures of like the Jordan 4s that had been backdoor to him. He must have had like 90 pairs backdoored from this particular store that are like, no, we're so against resellers. But every given opportunity they have, they just backdoor to this person. But I don't really blame them, because the person who like he works for, he's had like connections with all the stores within London for so long. So any pair he really wants, he's able to access it like that. So, but yeah, once I found out the information, I was like, yeah, I can't lie. These guys have got to stop hating us botters, because it's really the sneaker stores that backdoor these pairs from the average consumer that are the issue.
It's funny though. It's like you ask the stores, and the stores will be like, "Nah, man, botters, man. We have to work against botters, man." But you chat to a botter, and they brought a strong. They're bringing a strong case, man. The back doors, like the back dooring is a mazza, bro. 100%. It's definitely worse, because they're in a position of power and should be in a position of trust. You get me? People are putting in their time and their effort. It's not like you can just wake up whenever you want to wake up and pick up a pair of kicks nowadays. You have to enter into a raffle, sometimes days in advance. Sometimes you have to, for the first come, first serve, wake up a dumb hour in the morning to go and try and get that. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose, right? And you, man, are backdooring as well. Life, man. Life ain't fair sometimes,
the odds
bro.
are really stacked against you when it comes to that.
Really stacked.
Some
Bro,
stores will make you do the most.
Yeah, man, I don't even think like let me get your opinion on the recent Travis drop, like with the golf thing. Like, bro, I was seeing some crazy stuff. Like I was reading some of them, I think it was Trendy Golf or one of these other spots, saying like, yeah, you might win the raffle. Yeah, all right, cool. Fam, if you can't drive this ball 200 yards, we ain't giving it to you. Like, what kind of community is this?
Yeah, I made a video on this on my TikTok, because I was like, how does this make sense? The sneaker community is about inclusivity, giving everyone the opportunity to buy a pair. But then, just because there's allegedly 10,000 pairs, there's this one trendy golf community of golfers that like, oh, you need to be able to hit a ball 200 yards in order to get the Travis Scott shoe. Like, I just didn't really think that made sense, because what if it's the shoe at the end of the day? You know, even what if someone was like a golfer and a reseller? They hit 200 yards, but they still sell the shoe. And like, shout out to the sole supplier, because I was watching their video when they went to Trendy Golf. It seemed like a good, like, inclusive environment when the event was running. But I'm feeling like when you do these kind of measures, you exclude a lot of people that want the shoe for like general use and general purpose. It's also the same thing with like SB Dunks. Like the skater community of SB Dunks, I feel like they're some of the worst in terms of like the sneaker scene, the sneaker culture, because these guys generally believe that you shouldn't be wearing SB Dunks if you can't skate.
If you can't skate.
Like what? Like some of them genuinely believe that SB Dunks were made for like they were just made for them. No one should be able to touch a pair of SB Dunks if you can't do a kick flip, can't do a heel drag, like all of this stuff. These are just the stuff that kind of like infuriates me within the community.
Nah, it's absolutely fair, bro, because like I think we're one of the only like communities within like retail, the retail industry, the consumer industry, that make their customers jump through absolute hoops to buy their kicks and to prove that they like the shoe. Like, how can you have a community, like you said, that professes to be inclusive and like wants people to be part of the community, and then throwing up all of these barriers to stop people from feeling part of the thing? Like, yeah, that SB thing is crazy, bro. Yeah, man. I did say, I think I was speaking to Raf from My Source Fly, and he was like, his plan this year before his birthday is to learn how to kickflip, so he can finally purchase a pair of SBs legitimately.
Nah, I can't lie. When it was like during lockdown, like I was like trying to acquire so many SBs, and then there was the VX 1000 SBs. When I saw them that they were releasing, I was like, I've got to learn how to skate, because if anyhow any store says you need to be able to get on a skateboard and do XYZ trick, and I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. That's the most beautiful SB I've ever seen. So then during that lockdown period, I was so adamant I was gonna learn to skate. The first day I went out, I tried to go down a ramp, hurt myself. I was like, yeah, I've given up. No more skating. I'm out, bro. I'm going back to bottom. I'm going back to bottom. Let's play the drop on the sneakers app, man. I wasn't about that life. I don't know how them still
Oh,
do it, man. Respect to them.
respect to them, man, bro. They're better man than me, bro.
For
I
real.
would have done the same thing. I would have done the same thing, man. Go straight back to that, but still. Alright, man. If you're just bopping out the house and you're not even thinking about a fit, you're just running out, maybe going
Mm.
to the shops or something, what's the shoe that you're grabbing for?
First shoe right now in my collection is probably the SB Dunk Close Celadons. That's since I've got that sneaker, I guarantee every week I've at least worn it once. I use it to drive, I use it to go gym. If I need to run to the store, if I need to go into town, that's the one pair I'm putting on. Comfy, just the colors a bit outlandish, but I don't know. There's just something about that shoe, man. Like with the SB Zooms, they've got some sort of like padding on the front, some
Mm.
elastic on the sides to help your foot traction. It's just a perfect sneaker. It's just my go-to right now. It's been my go-to since the release, really.
We like that. We like that. We like that. All right, man. If your house was on fire and you could only grab one, what are you drawing for?
Oh,
And don't try to be smart, bro. I know
that's
you're in
mad.
uni and that. Don't try to be
That's
smart.
mad.
Just answer the
One
question.
pair right now. Oh, that's such a. I can't lie. I'm gonna have to go with something that I can just really wear like on a day-to-day basis and still look fly. So I'm gonna have to grab my off-white Air Max 90s in black because I can wear it anywhere, even to like I don't know a sneaker convention if I'm just going uni and still be like I've one of the hardest kicks in the room. So I'm grabbing that. Pull on any fit with it as well.
Yeah, that's an easy prep to fit with still, and that's a decent choice because it's got enough hype about it
Mm.
that like it's respected, but it is still it's the black pair, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's wearable, easily wearable. You get me, man. So yeah, no, that's a decent pair to go for. Still, that's a decent one. Talk to me a little bit about your social media journey, bro. Like, how long have you been in the game, man? Because obviously you've amassed a fairly decent following, like especially on TikTok. You've got a decent following on Instagram as well, man. How has that been for you? But essentially, how long you been in the game and how you finding it?
Well, when it comes to the social media aspect of things, I believe I started in like June, July 2022. So at first, like when TikTok was really blowing, I think like during like lockdown and stuff, 2021 as well, TikTok was blowing and stuff. Everyone was like posting them like dancing videos, flipping, I don't know, just doing any sort of mumbo jumbo in the app. And I was so adamant, I'm never getting on this app. This is just so silly. Like, what are these guys doing dancing videos, following these trends, and then it was like around like one of my friends, like actually two of them, one of my friends, Dino, and another one called Jimmy. These guys were persistent when it came to like, yo, they were like, yo, Bastin, you need to be on socials because they already know I'm kind of like outspoken. I love like just talking in general, conversing, talking about my passions. They were like, you've got to get out there in some form of way. And they were like, oh, hop on TikTok, hop on TikTok. And it was like a good 6 month period. They were just on me. They're like, yo, when are you making this account? Like, are you hopping on? What's going on, man? Every month kind of reminding me, yo, you need to hop on this, you need to hop on this. And then one day I just caved in. I was like, come on, man. I'm just gonna go for it. And then it was that like June, July time where I just booted up TikTok for the first time. Started first thing I ever did was just scroll through on the like sneaker content that people are making. I'm just like, oh, what are people doing like in terms of content for sneakers and what's working for them? And then I saw a few videos. I was like, yeah, I feel like I saw one video. Shout out to one of my friends, George. George, I used to watch him during like he used to do like botting on YouTube and stuff. And then I
Mm.
saw his TikTok account, and I was like, yo, this guy's got like 45 odd K people following on him. And then the real like demon in me was that, yo, how has he got this? I could 100% overtake this if I was doing the similar kind of content. I'm not gonna this might sound so bad, but I saw certain people on TikTok and I was like, how have they amassed this following when the content is just it's not the best to say the least now. It's like I can do 100% better than you, if not match whatever output you're doing on that app. So then after my friends convincing me and me just seeing people posting videos and getting mass followers, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna take this plunge. I'm gonna take this risk. June, July, booted up TikTok, downloaded it, came up with my name, CFABastin. And then first videos I really posted were just on like sneaker drops. I posted one on like me sneaker botting, and then after that I saw a lot of traction started to build up. People were like, "Yo, how you getting these shoes? Like, what's going on?" And then people started also hating, and they were like, "Oh, you're the reason I didn't cop today."
That's the
Yeah.
one. That's the
And
one.
all of this was just fueling me. Like the haters and the people that were motivating me. I was just like, yo, I'm just gonna take this in and really like focus. So every day I suppose like 1 to 3 videos a day talking about upcoming drops. I used to record that when there was like the period where there was like Nike releasing sneakers every week I'd be botting that, making a video in the morning, uploading in the afternoon, and then responding to all the comments. People were asking me queries like, "Oh, how do you run a server? How do you run this bot XYZ?" I put up like a Google spreadsheet, write all the questions people are answering. The next day, I'd film a load of content responding to those questions, and yeah, just got to a phase where we kept building up. More people started following. More people were interested in botting, and then I just like was like, okay, this is starting to build up. When I got to that first 10K followers, I was like, oh, like yo,
Amazing.
I'm actually doing okay with this. And then started pumping out more content, 20K, 30K, and then it just got to a point where people kind of came to me for advice on sneakers. So I used to just make videos on that, just like the general how-to videos, how to cop this sneaker. Kind of became like the CFABastin page became an informative page for just like general sneakers for botters and for people who are generally trying to go for a shoe just for like actual personal use. But then I'd say I was a big reason in converting a lot of just normal average consumers to showing them how to sneaker bot. There was one point in time I made a sneaker Discord server. There was like 4K people within it, and I
Wow.
was making video guides, just showing them all how to sneaker bot, making like videos on AWS. Those videos are still up on my TikTok as well. Like how to boot up an AWS server, how to run this bot, and yeah, really, that's how it started. And then now it kind of like branched into doing more streetwear infos, like with
Mm.
Cortez Rules the World, putting people onto like the best streetwear brands. Because I'm not just like a sneaker bot. I've always loved sneakers. I've always loved fashion. And now being like grown up and old enough to kind of like work, make my own money, I'm able to buy what I want, explore like different brands without having to like rely on anyone else. So when it comes to like the streetwear aspect of things, I've decided I'm gonna gauge more to like the streetwear and fashion instead of like purely just being a bot. Okay, I feel like the reselling niche is kind of like a small niche, and I wanted to like really expand the page. So it just came to a point in time where I was like, it was really during like the Cortez Rules the World drop. That's when I decided when those like free Air Max was releasing, I
Mm.
started switching up my content to more like information based, showing people, oh, how can you get the brand new Cortez Air Maxes, when are they releasing? What, because like Cortez, they did like a capture. So a capture is basically like a problem you've got to solve. It's like, you know, when they say, oh, are you a robot kind of thing, and then you've got
Yeah,
like
yeah.
puzzles. Clint, obviously Clint will do this. He does one where you've got to like put in like I think one of them was like something in relation to like, oh, what were 95s called before or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you had to like fill in the box 110s. So then I was like telling people, oh, potential trivia questions that could come out. So yeah, the content just gauged more into info, and now it's like become more of like, oh, what do I think about a drop? Let me like review the Supreme drop. Let me review Cortez Rules the World drop. Just like now, the social media for me is just gauged into like a lane where I'm trying to do more like inform people and also provide them the best quality content at the same time. And also like I really like to like just introduce people to different aspects of things that I haven't really seen within streetwear. So right now I'm really focused on how to like educate people more on just like um upcoming designers in the streetwear scene. Designers, if you're in the streetwear scene, you should know about. I want to really start a series now talking about some of the classic sneakers, going through what people like me, younger generation or younger than me, because a lot of people on TikTok, they're like 15, maybe 18, kind of age. They don't really know about like what's gone on, what's caused this history, why are Jordan 4s so big these days, why are Jordan 1s so big these days. So I just want to go into like more of the educating people kind of lane now. So yeah, that's really where the socials has really taken me.
That's a vibe, bro. And congratulations on all you've done, man.
Thank you,
It's
thank
been
you.
obviously it's been an amazing journey, and you can see by how you described it, man. You've learned a lot. You get
Yeah,
me, and you're
definitely.
consistently sort of evolving like your content, which is
Hmm.
very, very important as well. Obviously, as a creator myself, like I'm learning a lot of those lessons, man. When I get to speak to people like yourself and other people within the space, man, I get a lot of gems, bro. You drop down a lot of jewels, like, so it's a good thing, man, for people that are watching this, that are on or want to be on a similar journey to Bastin, bro. You just dropped a lot of game, you get me, like, so yeah. Feel free to replay this episode as many times as necessary in order to pick up what he was putting down still, man. But yeah, talk to me, man. Like in terms of your plan, obviously you're in university now. Like, is your plan like moving forward to do socials and do sort of content full time, or are you planning to go into another area and using this to supplement your lifestyle? What's your plans for the future?
Well, future end of hours in regards to like social media, I just want to keep pushing the content, kind of like growing like a bigger kind of audience, a bigger platform, and really getting more opportunities to talk about things I love. So just like sneakers, fashion, and streetwear, and see where that really takes me. But at the same time as well, I want to focus as well on my school elements. So obviously being at uni, I'm studying law at the moment. I do
Mm,
have a passion for law, so I still want to kind of like in future. I feel like when I finish uni, I might take like a good period out, so like 6 months to a year, to really assess my options and see what path I can really take like going forward, because I feel like I don't want to rush straight into going to a corporate job and staying in that job, and not kind of also putting my time into the social media aspect of things, because I feel like with the new digital world, like the need for people that are bringing like just joy in general to your screen, like you don't want to just spend your whole day with no enjoyment. Some people, they're like escape from life, their normal life is to just pick up their phone, watch like a YouTube video of someone, or just like go on TikTok and watch like some funny person discussing XYZ. This is like a really good escape for people that I've found since doing
mm,
content. So I still want to kind of bring people that sort of like enjoyment, for as long as I can, really, before I actually like, let's say stop socials like permanently. Yeah, that's really what I think. But yeah, I definitely will be still doing socials going forward. But I also want to like um at least dip my foot into the corporate working world and really like build up just like a general level of experience. Because with the social media thing, I can still do that simultaneously. I
of course, yeah. Of course, no, that's yeah, bro. Rosie's got his head screwed up. Can't deny it, bro. You're saying he's doing well, man. He's at uni, he's learning, bro. He's gonna go out, he's gonna smash his law thing.
God
You
willing,
get
God
me?
willing.
You get me? By God's grace, man, we'll do his thing, you get me, man. But yeah, super impressive, man. This year's running to an end. You get me? We're already in October. Like, some might say the best kicks have already dropped,
Mhm.
but there may be a few more still coming. Are there any that you're looking forward to, or do you think what will like what do you think are the best shoes to drop this year in your opinion?
This year, if I was just to go from the top of my head, the Jordan 4 SBs, the fact
Strong.
that Jordan have done a collaboration with SB and created the Pine Green, are top sneaker. That's definitely my top hashtag number one sneaker of the year. Those Jordan 4s right there. Because combining those two brands, adding that kind of skate element to it where you can still skate in a pair of Jordan 4s, I feel like that's
Mm.
just so crazy. And it's gonna be something. I feel like in a few years' time, it's gonna be just so timeless. Gonna be one of them grills. People are gonna be like, "Oh, I wish
I
I."
agree. I completely agree on that element. I love when a collaboration, even though it's an in-house collaboration, I love when a collaboration is like it has equal parts of both sides.
Mhm.
Like and you can really see the difference that SB brought to the shoe, because they could have just slapped that back tab on there and then said it was. But they actually went the extra mile. I think it was like a year of wear testing the shoe with skateboarders to see what elements they could add to the shoe to make it a true skateboarding shoe. And then obviously the colors they ended up going with, and then the actual blocking of the colors, like a lot of similar elements to the military black, which was a banger from the year before, like with that little sort of grey suede
Yeah,
piece
yeah, that's straight at the front.
near the toe box as well. Little bit of gum hits on the outsole with a little flash of red as well. And that back tab, which is significantly more pliable
Yeah, yeah,
than a regular Jordan 4 back tab. So one of the complaints that a lot of people that wear Jordan 4s, and I know you're a Jordan 4 guy, is that back tab will rip up the back of your foot. You get me? If you wear it for too long, but not on that SB4. You get me? Because they've made it in such a way that it's very, very like flexible, and it's not harsh in any way. Like, and yeah, the fact that it's slightly off white sail as well with the little pops of color, bro. That shoe is
yeah,
timeless, in my opinion. That's the reason why I was like, I've had so many Jordan 4s in my time, and I was like, I've had them, like, been blessed to have them, but I've moved them on
yeah.
because you can't wear them. I like comfortable shoes. I can't wear the shoe for too long. Now, don't get me wrong, Jordan 4 SB is more comfortable, but it's still a Jordan 4. So
Yeah,
respectfully, like, don't think you're wearing a Yeezy or nothing, but like, it's definitely more comfortable than a regular Jordan 4. And that colorway is crazy, man. So I could not agree with you more, man. I think that's definitely going to be up there. It's definitely going to be up there. Any more that sort of caught your eye this year?
well, on in terms of unreleased, the Crenshaw dunks, I went to a Paragon pop up and I saw them in hand for the first time, and I was like, "Yo, these are just so beautiful." The whole design on them, crazy, and also the Ramazell dunks, the ones with Supreme.
The Supreme ones,
I
yeah.
went to Supreme in store for those. Oh, those are just so nice as well. That's definitely one of the SBs I'm gonna have to put in my top five of like the past few years that have released. Those and the
Yeah,
Orange Lobsters.
yeah, yeah. The Supreme Dunk, whether it's the Ramels or Ramelsi or however they say it, like, that certainly was a sleeper. I did not expect that to hit as hard as it
Yeah.
did. It really did. It really did. You prefer the highs or the lows on that?
Nah, definitely the lows. Definitely the lows.
The lows are
I feel like
definitely hitting
the
harder
white
for
collar
me.
blocking on the lows. Apparently, I heard from someone that the highs, the colorway was actually originally meant to be the low colorway, but
And
apparently,
they flipped it.
yeah, apparently it looked too close to the Paris dunks, so
Yeah, it would do.
they
Yeah,
did the
it would do.
decision to not run them.
No, that actually makes sense because the Paris Dunk so has got that sort of canvas background thing where there's like so many different elements to the colorway, like, so it kind of would look a lot similar, and then it would just end up being
Yeah,
a
would have
fake pair of
affected the
Paris
price.
Dunks. Yeah, it'd just be a fake pair of Paris Dunks, man. And I don't think Supreme, as big as they are, want to be known for that. So that's long, like. But yeah, no, that definitely hits though. Crenshaw's as well, another sleeper. Did not see that coming. You get me? A shoe that I did see coming. I haven't managed to see it in hand yet. Was the born and raised dunk as well.
Oh yeah, those are so
Yeah,
sick.
that's a solid shoe, bro. So I feel like this year we actually have had some pretty cool shoes drop. It's going to be interesting. I know Complex Con is around the corner and they're going to be doing their top 10. So it'd be interesting to see where these shoes fit in. And yeah, there are loads of others that obviously we haven't mentioned, but like, definitely looking forward to see by the end of the year where everything lays, man. But yeah, that being said, sort of we're winging our way to the end of the convo, broski. Thank you so much for your time. I really do
Thank
appreciate it.
thank you for having me
Right, I
on.
really nah, bro. It's nothing, man. It's nothing because you actually put me on, bro. Like, quick question in terms of botting again, because you're like I think you're like the first open botter.
I wouldn't say I'm the first. I think like people like Lucky
They're doing it
Bottom.
on the. They're
Yeah,
doing it. No. In terms of on the podcast.
oh, on the podcast, yeah,
Yeah, the first open botter we've had on the podcast. Yeah, there are others that have been out there, but I haven't managed to get them on. Like, so so I'm asking you questions that I've just had in the back of my mind.
yeah.
In terms of like when you're selecting a bot, right? When you're selecting like the is the process as easy as saying, okay, I prefer I'm trying to bot end or I'm trying to bot sneakers. So there is a bot specifically for end, a bot specifically for sneakers, a bot specifically for I don't know, like like I'm saying, like for foot
Yeah.
patrol or something like that. Does it work as simply as that, or is there a lot more behind it?
Yeah. It's kind of does work like that. Within the botting scene, we've got like when it comes to raffle botting or just first come first serve botting. So first come first serve, as the name states, whoever's there gets there first gets it. So that's just like let's say a normal Shopify release. That's first come first serve. So for those, you'll have like a few top bots within the scene, but everybody knows that on certain drops, this one will be the one to use. So for like raffle botting, it's a bit different though. With raffle botting, let's say I want to bot end or I
Mm,
want to bot let's say like a mesh site. So mesh is like JD, Size, Foot Patrol. If I want to bot like any of those sites, I'd choose like between a variety of like 1 to 2 bots, but they'd all do the same function. Because
mm,
with raffle botting, it's just a case of like getting your entries in, and then the more entries you do, the higher probability you have of winning. And then when it comes with the sneakers app, with sneakers, they've got browser-based bots. So that would be like you sneakers. That's like the hashtag #1 top bot when it comes to botting. It's been like that since its inception. That's a browser-based bot, so it just like brings up Chrome browsers and then enters your account details, all of that kind of stuff, logs in, saves your sessions, and then it basically enters for the shoe. And then you also have request bots for Nike. Those are less efficient, but you can load more accounts onto request-based bots because that's just simply like it's a line of code you see on your screen that just runs through. So we'll just say, logging into account, entering drop, done. And then you can do that over a multitude of different accounts. But with request-based bots, there's more of a potential of Nike potentially catching onto that account being a bot. Whereas with
mm,
browser-based, it's 100% like way more safer. But yeah, when it comes to selecting your bot, with raffle botting, it depends on the site you're doing. There'll be some bots that are better performing on that site for that
mhm,
particular drop. So for example, let's say before when Adidas used to do their raffles app, Neo Raffles used to be like one of the bots that actually used to destroy Adidas until one of the developers like completely stopped us like winning on that particular app. But yeah, it's really a case of which bot's performing on that kind of day. Because one thing I can say as well, like a lot of the botting companies and their sites, they tend to like change a lot of stuff as well. So then
mhm,
one day one bot might not be working, and then the next week it might be working. 1 month this bot's like the best performing bot for this particular site. The next day it's completely clipped. We need to find like a new solution for it. So with End particularly, and the developers behind End are so clever. There's this thing called like
mm,
Shape, which came into play in End. Not quite recently now, but when I was born End, it came like quite recently. Before End was just so easy to get wins to. I've got like videos on my TikTok where I used to get like, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 pairs of shoes coming with one delivery guy just from End store. But then they start to add this like serious bot protection where it kind of like it checks your browser, and then every time you try and like do something new to try and get past that bot, it learns from what you've done and then stops you again. It
them
was so crazy.
AIs.
They were I don't know, and they just completely like up the levels during those times. But now they've got rid of that for some reason. I don't know why. Now the sneaker market's dead. They're no longer paying for that software to protect their site. But yeah, that's just one example of how the site's done something where one bot that used to absolutely destroy pairs on that site no longer works. So we had to switch to another bot just to like be able to get them pairs. But yeah, it's crazy. But any more questions you have in relation to the sneaker bot, let me know, Carl.
Broski,
Yeah,
I'm lining them up, bro.
yeah,
So
go
like,
for it.
okay, so I know botting costs money. So like, if you were trying to get into botting,
Mm-hmm.
how much in general would you need to be able to buy a successful bot, right? And obviously you're gonna make your money back, obviously through the shoes that you're gonna sell. But like initially up front, how much would you need?
Well, right now it's kind of like a different landscape. Bots are so much cheaper. So let's fast forward to like the prime time of botting. So let's set the scene. The scene is 2020. The government's handing out furlough, handing out money left, right, center to every man, every woman, every dog, every cat. The government's just dishing out peas freely. That was like the prime time of botting because the consumers and the general spending of the whole economy was just mad up. So botting at
Mm.
that specific time was so hard to get into if you didn't have bread. If you were broke, then I'm sorry. Botting just like at the higher end level just wasn't for you. You had like for example, let's say Adidas or like raffle botting or any sort of first come first serve botting, the top bot at that time would have cost you at least like 5-6K. Cyber, Ganesh, those were the bots that were destroying everything. Like in terms of first come first serve, they were destroying every site. They were just eating drops for fun. Like I remember the Jordan 1 UNCs that dropped.
Mm-hmm.
That like popular colorways, like that light blue with white, and then the obviously the black tick. That cyber that day absolutely destroyed that, man. A couple man were getting 50 pairs, 100 pairs, like, and that bot at the time, if you wanted to get that bot to be able to make that much money, you would have to pay like 5K just for that bot alone. So initial
Jeez.
investment of 5K just to be able to like make your money back and on top of that more. But that was really like the prime time days of botting. As the years kind of came up, and like more stores started to move to raffles because initially a lot of stores were doing like first come first serve botting, so it was all just normal online drops. But the stores, one of them woke up one day and was like, "Nah, stop. Let's stop the resellers first come first serve botting. Let's start to move more of our stuff towards doing raffles." So then once they started doing more raffles, obviously the developers were like, "Pardon me," the developers were like, "Oh, let's go and now make raffle bots." So then raffle bots started getting more and more people start making raffle bots, and then we used to have a cook group called an ambush, which used to specifying how to get around these raffle sites because a lot of raffle fights they think they're clever, but there's always someone smarter than you. You know, if you're the smartest person in the room, you know that saying, if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're not
You
really
need to go.
need to go
You
to
need to go to a bigger room.
yeah, you need to go to, you need to go to a different room. So those guys that worked in the raffle companies, they were clearly thought they was the smartest person in the room. But that's the backwards mentality. Because we used to have the developers who basically spent day and night going through the codes of those sites on how to bypass them, figuring out methods on how we can collect more pairs. Because for a lot of these guys that work at development companies for these bots, it's their full-time job. They wake up and like 9 a.m. The next day 9 a.m. they'll still be trying to figure out how they can crack this site for us to cop pairs and for to make the members money to make us money. So they were just on it meticulously. So when it came to that raffle botting stage, one day, once all the bots found a way across like various sites, more people got access to these bots. And I'd say with raffle botting, the entry barrier was just way cheaper than first come first serve bot. Like I spoke about with like Cyber and Ganesh, it was like 5-6K, sometimes 7K. I think the highest peak of Ganesh and Cyber was like 8.5, 9K kind of thing.
Wow.
I know one person that bought a key around like 7K. And
Jeez,
now if
bro.
you check the price, you'll be lucky to get £500 for it, man. It was crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, during those peaks, it was crazy. But yeah, back to like raffle botting. Once the developers found out ways around the site, more bots started to come about. And with raffle botting being cheap, way more people were doing raffle botting. So when I initially came into botting, I started first come first serve botting, but I found that you had to spend way more money just to make potentially, let's say, I don't know, £500 more. Whereas with raffle botting, you could have invested that £500 more and paid potentially made 1,000. Because the only difference between first come first serve and raffle botting in terms of like me, the user, um, is just the time you invest into your setup. Because with first come first serve botting, it's like with how can I say this in like a real life scenario? It's like if there's two people, one of their parents is poor, one of their parents is rich. One of them obviously is gonna have the advantage because their parents is rich. They're gonna have access to better schools, better equipment, potentially better education. So that was how I saw first come first serve botting as. if you're in first serve button, you had to have the bread to be able to make all of your money back and huge sums back. Whereas with raffle button, you didn't need that much bread, but you could get into it, invest that time, grind, work hard to a level where you're making just as much money as the first come first serve butters. So people used to invest like, let's say, £500 into like a raffle button setup, and then obviously potentially you'd have like a credit card, or you'd have like just some money on the side to actually be able to buy the shoes. So then you'd always be able to like make your money back. Some people, they used to like take money from Amex out, pay the Amex CC back, they've profited, and then you just go again, until you're at a stage where you're not sufficient on, like, let's say loans, or you're not sufficient on asking anyone for money, but you've like started from the ground up with raffle button and kind of like worked your way up to a level where now I know a lot of raffle butters where they started off like £500, and then they've got like 50k liquid just like running up releases. It was so crazy.
Broski, I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that, man. So we're getting some more info into this button get up, man. And it's definitely a vibe, man. And I'm definitely gonna holler at you, man, because I think in order for you to truly have an understanding of all sides of this sneaker game, I'm saying you have to get involved, bro. You need to learn by doing, you get me? So man, I have to dip in, bro, and there's no better person to guide you along that path than CFABastin, you get me? So yeah, I'm a hold off on more questions. I'm gonna take them offline, you get me, man. But I appreciate your time on that. I'm gonna ask you a bit of a weird question. We're winding down on the podcast now. This is one of my favorites. It's called Desert Island Kicks. Right? Imagine, if you will, you're cast away on a desert island and you don't know how you got there, but you have 2 pairs of shoes with you. They don't necessarily have to be from your collection. They could be any 2 pairs of shoes in the world. What 2 pairs of shoes do you have with you and why?
Damn. 2 pairs.
2 pairs.
That's a sick question. I'd have to go with SB Celadons firstly. Just like I said,
you love those. You love those, yeah.
Just a pair I love. And I feel like if I'm on a desert island and I need to do any sort of activities, climbing, I don't know, cutting up stuff, like just general activities that involve me having to walk, I need to have a pair that I know is going to be comfortable. I ain't getting no blisters. I'm going to be absolutely 10/10s fine walking without any issues to my feet. So that's definitely one pair I'd be taking. And then another pair, if I could choose any, probably just like the Stussy Dunks. I just have them there, just for the sake of having them there, because I probably won't even wear them. I'll just have them there, chilling nice on a little beach hut that I've crafted whilst wearing my Celadons.
Love that, bro. Love that. And that's actually smart, man, because there's a little money in the Stussy Dunks. So that if you do get rescued, you get me, you can start off your new life okay, you get me? This man's always patterning it up, bro, you get me? No, man, we like that. That's a great answer, man, and completely understandable, because you love those shoes, you're not comfortable with those shoes, so you can move about with those shoes as well. Dunks usually have a solid base as well, so you can get about with those shoes, you can be active. But yeah, man, let's do some quick fires still. Let's do some quick fires. Right, with this one, yeah. My only question or the only request that I have is that you don't dilly-dally on these answers, bro. You shoot from the hip. You get me? We keep it fast. You get me? Don't think about something too long, bro. Just keep it quick. You get me? All right. Let me know when you're ready, yeah?
Yeah, ready.
All right, G. We're going in 3, 2, 1. We start, as we do always, with the big one. Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
New Balance or Adidas?
New Balance.
Can you wear Nike and Adidas together, yes or no?
No. Never.
What was your last sneakers win? Legitimately.
We'd have to be going back to like 2021 where I wasn't botting. I ain't earning sneakers legitimately in years. If it's not a bot, I'm not into sneakers. I can't lie.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. What's your Jordan number?
Jordan 4.
YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok?
YouTube.
Sneakers, kicks, or creps?
Creps.
Spotify or Apple?
Spotify.
Favorite collaboration?
Or Jordan 4 SB Pine Green right now. So Jordan 4 collab.
Real talk. Vans or Converse?
Vans.
Laces or slip-ons?
Laces.
Are you default laces or do you pattern your laces?
Nah, default laces every time.
Respectfully. Are you customizing your shoes or straight factory settings?
Factory set, never ever customized. No, none of that.
Retro or innovation?
Retro, keep it classic.
Love that. Flip-flops or sliders?
Sliders.
Socks or barefoot?
Barefoot.
Respect that, man. African man right there, man.
Barefoot.
Barefoot, we do that sometimes, man. Comfort or style?
Comfort.
Fresh and clean or beaten and battered?
Beaten and battered. Wear your kicks.
Wear your kicks. Washing machine or hand wash your shoes?
Hand wash your shoes. Nah, you can't be washing machine shoes. What is this?
What is this indeed? Lows, mids, or highs?
Lows.
And the last one in this section is triple blacks or white on whites.
White on white. I can't lie. You gotta go with that classic colorway, man.
Yeah, white on white is clean. White on white is clean. Congratulations, Basti. You did your thing, broski. Nah, man, that was smooth, man. No dilly dally as well, which we like. You get me? And all the answers were pretty much dead on, man. We like that. All right, we're getting into the last question now, man. It's an important one because a lot of people, and we alluded to it earlier on, we were talking about the community, right? And we spoke about gatekeep and all different things, man. The word sneakerhead, it's a bit of sometimes could be a bit of a taboo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people take it like I feel part of that community, and some people's like, I don't want to really be associated as a sneakerhead or known as a sneakerhead. In your mind, what does the term even mean? What does it mean?
Well, generally, when I think about sneakerheads over the years, I feel like it's evolved to a state where it's generally just someone who has a passion for kicks. Like, I feel like anyone can really be a sneakerhead. You don't really have to have like the most illustrious collection or 20 pairs of sneakers. I feel like you just need to love sneakers generally. Like, that's really what I feel like makes you a sneaker. Having like a love and a passion for sneakers just generally. And like I said, we don't gatekeep around here, so anyone's really welcome to call themselves a sneakerhead or be part of that sneaker community.
Respectfully, and with all of that being said, CFABastin, are you a sneakerhead?
I'd say 100% I'm a sneakerhead. Like, regardless of the button, I'd always associate myself as being a sneakerhead, having loved sneakers, even the ones I couldn't obtain when I was younger. Having always had like a willingness and a want to be able to work hard to be able to get the best kicks, or just generally have like a good collection who I see like all of the olders having. Yeah, I definitely say that I class myself as being part of that sneakerhead community.
I'm also co-signing that, man. Kicks Chronicles certified sneakerhead, 100%. And you said it amazing. Could not have said it any better myself, man. You just gotta have a love and a passion for kicks. You get me, man? Ain't nobody out here trying to make rules up that don't apply. You get me? You ain't gotta have a certain number. You ain't gotta have a certain type. You just gotta have a passion and a love for the kicks, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is, man. You are a certified sneakerhead. And with that being said, my G, we have come to the end of the podcast. Like, congratulate yourself, man. 1 million, 10 million, 15 million people are gonna listen / watch to this, man. Let these people know how they can get in contact, how they can support what you got going on.
Well, you can hit me up on, obviously, the main platform I'm on is TikTok at CFABastin, CFABastin. And then that's basically my at on all socials. Not started YouTube yet, but yeah, you can shout me on YouTube. And then obviously, main other platform is just Instagram, just daily flicking it up in just general Insta posts over there as well. Yeah.
We love that. We love that, man. So yeah, guys, make sure to go light him up and show some support. I've obviously been your boy PROZECH, man. This has been another episode of Kicks Chronicles, where it's about connections, not collections. We've spoken with CFABastin today. He's given us his time and energy, and we really appreciate it. People, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, to all of those things that we know we're meant to do when we watch this content, but some of us don't. So do all of those things, man, to show your support and your love, you get me? And yeah, man, we'll keep on making this dope content, man. So however it's coming to you, whether it be in your ears or you're watching on screen, I appreciate you. Mad love, CFA, you're the man, 100%. I'm gonna holler at you about this button thing, because I'm not joking. And yeah, until I see you, man, down the roads, look after yourself.
Look
And
after
peace.
peace, man. Remember, we don't gatekeep around here.
We don't gatekeep around here. Stay blessed. Thank you for listening to this episode of Kicks Chronicles. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, rate, review, and all that good stuff. And remember, full video version is available on YouTube, audio versions available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.